Yasharala. I want to give infinite honors to my Heavenly Father, my great King, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Harakakadash. I want to give the honors to our teachers, the elder apostles of Great Millstone. A salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahushua, puts his true cross before wind. Shalom, one of you brothers. All right, and you few sisters that listen. This sit down is going to be directed towards you sisters. As of late, there have been a lot of women on the comment boards, a lot of women submitting under the apostles' doctrine. And for a woman to be able to stomach the apostles' doctrine, that means the Lord has had to pour the Spirit on them, because this doctrine is what this society would call misogynist, and it's going to be taboo to the uncircumcised ear. And this is just an epistle to let you women know, the few that hear that might come across this video, you're going to get down or lay down, all right? You're going to change your life, the way you think, and put off these Western philosophies, the satanic vibration, or you're going to get put to death, all right? So I'm going to just jump straight into these articles I got and these excerpts. I got a video I'm going to go into, and Abaratazai is edifying to whoever hears it, whoever ears it may come by. So I'm going to start off over here. This is a ancient Hebrew research center, all right? Now, this article got a few chunks of meat that breaks down the difference between Eastern philosophy and Western philosophy, all right? Us here in America, our women, all right, because it's directed towards the women, but it's also for the men, all right? We were Hellenized by our colonizers, and Hellenization means that we were influenced by their ways of life, their culture, their customs. They enforced it on our people violently, and they made us live according to their education. And over the hundreds and thousands of years that passed, all right, we got away from our way of living, our customs, our culture. Because this Bible is a Middle Eastern book written in ancient time past with Middle Eastern principles and philosophies. All right, but what goes on today in modern day Christianity, they try to wrap this modern Middle Eastern book written in ancient time past around with a Western mindset, with Western philosophies, and you're never going to get understanding of the scriptures that way, and you're never going to know the truth that way. And that's why our men and women are in derision, and they're profane like these degenerate ass heathens around us. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into this clip and just read I'm going to get the meat off the bone, get the little chunk, because it's full of bones, but I'm going to get the meat. All right, throughout the world, past and present, there were two major divisions of thought or philosophy, Western and Eastern. All right, this Bible comes from Eastern philosophies, all right? It's Eastern philosophy. Western philosophy is gender equality, abortions, democracy, same-sex marriage. All of these things are birthed in the West, which is total contrary to the East, okay? Western philosophy has its beginning in the 6th century BC in Greece, with such philosophers as Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. All right, now let's see what our blessed words say about what happened when the Greeks came into power. All right, I'm gonna get straight to the point too. All right, this is the first book of Maccabees. I'm gonna start in the first chapter. And it happened that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. Now, you can read about Alexander the Greek, the freak. We call him Alexander the Freak, but history books call him Alexander the Great. And the reason the history books call him Alexander the Great, because history is written by the conquerors. So that when they speak of their forefathers and their patriarchs, they call them great. And now when you read up on this guy, he was a flaming fag, a homosexual. And the only thing he was great in was degeneracy. All right, and let's see what the Bible says. It was foretold in Daniel the 8th chapter that the Greeks were going to come into power and Hellenize the whole earth. All right, so I'm gonna get straight down to the point. All right, what a point is. I'm going to start at verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare ruled everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. All right? Now let's see how evils were multiplied in the earth when the Greeks came into power. Okay? Hellenization period. Okay? This is what happened when the Greeks came into power. During the Hellenistic period, Greek culture influences and power reaches peak in the Mediterranean and beyond. All right. Now, the way you get Greek culture influences is when you go to college. All right. You got these fraternities, Omega Psi Phi, Beta bullshit, this, and Alpha Kappa, Alpha Delta, Sigma, Theta. Them deltas, they be straight holes in the women that be throwing up the diamond. I forgot what they are. It's all of them are whores. All right. And all of that degeneracy comes from the Hellenistic period during the time when the Greeks came into power. And we just read the Lord say when these degenerates came into power, evils multiplied in the earth. So when you're living according to the philosophies you learn from these higher institutes of learning, in this devil's educational industrial complex, you're learning how to be evil. All right? When you learning developmental psychology, abnormal psychology, all of those courses you got to take in these Greek, Romano-Greco universities. All right? You're learning how to be a degenerate. Okay? And prosperity and progress in arts, literature, theater, architecture, music, mathematics, philosophy, and science characterize the era. All right? And the Hellenistic period saw the rise of new comedy, Alexandrian poetry, translation efforts such as the Septuagint, and the philosophies of Stoicism, Empiricism, Pyrrhonism, all right? So on and so forth, all right? And just basically everything you learn here in America, all right? Everything that we learn here in America is degeneracy and is birthed out of the Greek fashion, Hellenization period. And the Lord said, when that happened, evils multiplied in the earth. That's why our women dress the way they dress. That's why they conduct themselves the way they conduct themselves, okay? Let me get back to this article. All right. Okay, where would I leave off? All right, I left off at Aristotle. Eastern philosophy has its roots in the ancient past and was the philosophy of all ancient cultures of the Far East, including China, Japan, the Middle East, including India and Babylon, and the Near East, including Egypt and Israel, all right? We're the Israelites, all right? And the Eastern philosophy is totally contrast to the Western philosophy, all right? As the Greek culture spread, so did Western philosophy, to the point that Western philosophy has become the predominant philosophy throughout all the world. All right, that's why everybody's dealing with democracy, doing things by diplomacy. All right, that's why everybody's trying to be like the so-called white man, because the white man is ruling in the kingdom of earth right now. All right, that's how monoganism came into planet Earth. Because guess what? None of these Eastern nations that we just read about, none of them practiced monogamy in the ancient world. All right. So monoganism is one of those evils that came into planet Earth, and that's one of the evils that drive women crazy. They think a man is only supposed to be with one of them their whole life. But when you learn the way of the Hebrews had multiple wives and concubines. So, therefore, who's at enmity with the scriptures? Is it the man or the woman? And it also shows that this modern day doctrine that we're getting from this modern day Christian is coming from a Western mindset and not a Middle Eastern mindset. Okay? This is why you got to educate yourself. Okay? Because the education that you're going to get taught here is altered, is mangled. All right? And you got to learn how to take the meat off the bones through the spirit. The Hebrews of the Bible wrote the Bible from the perspective of Eastern philosophy, polygamy, man having all power, no such thing as gender equality. A man is the ruler of the planet Earth. The Lord gave him authority over his house, his woman, his children, and he's the ultimate power. There's no one that can come and take his authority away. That's what the West would call misogynistic. All right, and not having a heart for the woman. All right, the West look at things from a different spectrum, and it's satanic. In fact, let me get some scriptures to back up what I'm saying. All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26, and it's written, and Yahweh said, let us make man in our image. Now, where image goes back to, let's get this man laws and order. All right. It's talking about what he did with the holy line. All right. The sons of God, who are the Israelites. All right. He made us in his image. So he gave us his philosophies. All right. That's what that word image goes into. After our likeness. All right. Let them do things on earth as we do in heaven. That's why Matthew the 6th chapter say, as it is in earth, as it is in heaven, let it be on earth. Okay. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowls of the air, over the cattle, over the earth, and every creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. All right. So God created man in his image, and the image of God of Yahweh, he created he him, male and female, he created he them. And he gave men the dominion over the female and everything on the planet earth. Period. All right. Let me get another precept. This is Genesis 2:15. And the Lord took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. All right. And he started talking about the man. And when you look up, when you understand the Eden, the whole earth was Eden. All right. In contrast to popular belief, the whole earth was Eden. And he told a man to dress it and keep it. So he told a man to rule over the garden. All right. Tend to it like I have taught you to tend to it. So he gave the man full authority over the whole planet Earth, okay? That's Eastern philosophy. This is what we're reading, this Middle Eastern book, written in ancient time past in the Middle East. This is Genesis 3:16. And unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. All right, let's get the word rulership. All right. This is Eastern philosophy, what this society would call misogyny. All right? Where a man has no respect for a woman and he think he's more. That's how this world thinking. A man is more and a man is above the woman, okay? Rulership definition, authority. In sociology, authority, rulership authority is one of the same. In sociology, authority is the legitimate or social approved power which one person or a group possesses and practices over another. So the Lord gave the man rulership over the woman. Rulership definition, the act or fact of ruling over the state or being ruled. Foreign rulership of the country began in the 18th century. That's a dumbass definition. The office of a ruler. All right. So a man is a ruler of his house. There's no such thing as gender equality 50-50. That's a Western philosophy. All right. That's a Greek philosophy. All right. It's not biblical. All right. It's off. All right. There's more. The Hebrews of the Bible wrote from the perspective of Eastern philosophy, but today's readers are interpreting these writers with Western philosophy. See, a satanic vibration. You can't learn these holy scrolls reading from a 21st century mindset. All right? 21st century American mindset at that. Okay? The result being misinterpretation and mistranslation of the text. So you're not even going to know what holy and unholy is if you're reading it from a 21st century English diction mindset, okay? You have to learn how the ancient world was. You got to learn what it meant to be holy in the ancient world, okay? You have to learn it. Let me get a precept to bag on what I'm saying. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 16, and it's written, Thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the way, and see and ask for the old paths. All right, the old paths is the law, statutes, and commandments that Yahweh Shema Shai gave us. And we just read, he told women that you have to be in a position of servitude to your husband. Where is the good way that walk therein, and you shall find rest for your souls. But they said we would not walk therein. All right? Let me give you an example. Something very simple. Let me find this precept. Let me find this quick precept. Bear with me. All right. This is the book of Exodus. This is the old path. Something very simple that has gotten away from our people. This is Exodus chapter 20. And all right. This is Exodus 20 and 20. I'm going to start at 25. If thou wilt make an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. For if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shall thou go up by steps unto my altar, that thy nakedness should be not discovered thereon. See, according to our cultures and customs, you wasn't showing your body off. You wasn't showing your breasts, your ass. The Lord was telling the man, look, don't show your nakedness. So that was the law. This is the law we're reading. Nobody's supposed to be seeing your nakedness. Okay? That's a Western thing. Walking around and people looking at your body, all right? That's an enmity with the scripture. Something that simple. Hold up. There's more. Let's do precept upon precept. Here a little and there a little, all right? This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 23. And it's written, and Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backwards, and they saw not their father's nakedness. So amongst our culture, you didn't look on the nakedness of men or women, all right? Your body had to be covered all the time, all right? Get another one. This is Exodus chapter 28 and verse 42. And it's written, and thou shalt make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness from their loins, even unto the thighs they shall reach. All right? And they shall be upon Aaron, upon his sons, and they shall come to the tabernacle of the congregation. So the Lord said we were always supposed to have, because the priests were the heads. So we follow we follow what the priest did. The priest taught us how to be holy. They taught us the difference between clean and unclean, holy and unholy. So if the priest was fully dressed, we were supposed to be fully dressed. This modern day thing of wearing skimpy shit, showing off your body parts, that's something new in the earth. That's something new in the earth. In the ancient world, only harlots did that. But that's something new in the earth, okay? And that's Western philosophy. That's one of those evils that are multiplied when the women dress like harlots, all right? This Eastern philosophy tells us you're supposed to be covered. In fact, let me get in there in Leviticus. I think that's Leviticus 18, and they say you're not supposed to look at nobody's nakedness, all right? Leviticus 18, the nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother thou shalt not uncover. You ain't supposed to be walking in it like how nigger women do. How nigger women walk around, because even my mama did it. When we were young, they'll walk around their sons in their bras and drawers and shit. That shit off. All right? Your sister walk past you in her bras and drawers. That's off. That's going against the law. All right? You're not supposed to be looking on the nakedness of your mother or your father. Well, they got on drawers and t-shirt. No, you're not supposed to be looking at a woman's skin, her navel, looking at her cleavage and all that, and her ass cheeks hanging out the drawers and shit. That's off. That's a Western philosophy. A woman's supposed to be covered from head to toe. All right? None of you shall approach to any that is near kin to uncover their nakedness. I am Yahweh. Okay? Not the nakedness of thy father's wife thou shalt not uncover. The nakedness of thy sister, the nakedness of thy sons. Look, this whole chapter goes into not wearing skimpy shit. Because when Daisy Dukes, hold up, I got some clips. All right, let me bring out these clips. This is looking at uh this is nakedness. See, this is what this society says okay. All right, this is nakedness. You're not supposed to be looking at a woman's thigh like that, a man's woman thighs and shit like that. This is totally off. That Fashion Nova shit. How these harlots dress. This is the attire of a harlot. This is a harlot's attire. But it's accepted in this society. What them hoes gonna say, go girl. You what they say, you flexing, it's something they be saying. They be saying you stroking, it's something them hoes be saying. You slaying, bitch. They be saying you slaying, girl. Wear that shit, girl. You see that shit off, man. It's totally off. What the fuck? Get the fuck off this fucking website, man. All right, that shit totally off. The way the modern woman dress is how she learned how to dress in the West, wearing skimpy shit. All of this is horror. See, this would be like even my mama and older women now. They'll be like, nothing's wrong with this. This is she's not showing all this, man. Look, you be seeing camel toes, cleavage. This is off. This is not how a woman should dress. All right. This is whorish. All right. Wearing tight shit, trying to show your curves off, showing all your legs, all this shit. This is off. This is not modest apparel. Let me in the book of 2 Timothy, it say women should wear modest apparel. And I got some clips of what modest apparel should be. All right. This is modest apparel. A woman should be covered from head to toe. All right. This is how women were in the ancient world. And really, they would have a veil over their eye, over their face if they were virgins. All right. I think, the virgins, you would have to have a veil over your face with only your eyes showing. You see? And they would be covered from head to toe. And these women are still attractive to me. They are attractive as fuck. This is sexy to me. All right? It's sexy. It's classy. You see? And they cover from head to toe. Even the big girls. You see what I'm saying? This is modest apparel. All right? This is how women should dress. Okay? This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 40. And it's written, let all things be done decently and in order, all right? That's decent apparel, what we just saw. That's how the women of our nation are supposed to dress. That's the attire they're supposed to wear. Not like what these women are doing according to the Grecian fashion. That saying, do as the Romans do, is going to get you in a lake of fire. It's going to get you killed, raped to death. All right, it's going to have you starving so bad you're going to eat your children. That's the judgments that's going to befall women that don't conform to the Lord's word. And I'm going to just straight up say it. Women in here in America, I think the vast majority of them are damaged beyond repair. I would go on the limb and say 98% of the women here in America are going to die, especially of the tribe of Judah. All right, I basically gave up on most of them. All right, on all of them. Because if you say 98%, that's basically all of them. My cousins, my aunties, this Western philosophy, that's another thing. It's a hell of a drug. It's hard to kick because it's hard for us men to kick it. You know, it was hard. It wasn't easy. It's just the Lord had mercy on us, poured his spirit on us and gave us eyes to see and ears to hear and let us see it clearly. All right. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. Let women keep silent in the churches. You see, that's taboo. You heard that woman? I ain't going to sit down. I ain't going to shut up. Bring out that clip. For it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience as also the law. So let's see the Babylonian woman and how she feels. Check this shit out. This the type of woman that's going to get tortured and put to death. Listen.
I'm not going to subscribe to you. Sit down and you have to sit down. I'm a grown-ass woman. I pay my own bills and you're going to tell me what to do? do? That's fine. You may not realize it, but a man does a whole bunch of shit for you that you don't know. He's watching the shows you want to watch. He's listening to you talk gossip about the girls at work. He's fucking going, yeah, I like that dress, that dress. He doesn't give a fuck about any of it. He's doing it for you.
See, that's
but the second it's back the other way, you have some fucking issue with
He's
authority.
right. He's right. Listen, yeah, he's right because women talk nonsense for a long time. And they're like, yeah, babe, you're right. Yeah, babe, can't believe she did that. It's true, babe.
I'm not gonna subscribe to you. Sit down and you have to sit down. It's not about that. I'm a grown-ass woman. I pay my own.
Yes, you will. Or die. You're going to do it or die. That's for all you. Just come across one of y'all paths, you're going to do it or die. In fact, prophecy, you don't have to believe for what there's something to believe. Does that mean these prophecies not going to come to pass? Watch this. You are going to do it. But the way you're going to do it, the Lord going to bring so much judgment on your ass. In that day, this is Isaiah 4:1. In that day, 7 women shall take who to 1 man. Now, what's going to happen? Well, you're going to have women willing to share a man here in America. Something traumatic, cataclysmic, it has to happen with a bitch like this. Look at this bitch. Look at this dumb bitch. This stupid whore. Because women like this have body counts up in the 50s and 60s. This is your typical Babylonian woman. The typical one. This is how the vast majority of them think. And they got body counts, the number of Pike County. All right? Now what? Look at this hole.
I'm a grown-ass woman. I pay my own bills and you're going to tell me what to do? That's fine. You may not realize it.
All right? Now, my question is, what's going to happen when a woman like that comes and now she's ready to share a man and only be with that man? Something cataclysmic has to happen for these women mindsets to just switch like that. And we're going to show it. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of 1 man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let's be called by thy name and take away our reproach. They're going to be willing to share. All right? They're going to be ready to share a man. And you know, that's these women's problem. They say men can't be monogamous. And when all actuality, even when men be monogamous with these hoes, they still do their thing. All right? Because if you not fucking a bitch right in this society, and it got some dude that fucked her right, no matter how good you is, if you ain't making her nut and catch nuts back to back, that woman's going to go back and fuck that nigga. All right? I don't care what nobody say. These Babylonian women, they are destroyed beyond repair. They fucked up. They got these demons in them. But something's going to happen where they're going to be willing to be with the guy with the small package, so-called small package. He not her type. And this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. It's a few precepts I'm going to get. Micah. Where you at? This is the book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 10, and it's written, then she that is mine enemy, all this fucking spam, then she that is my enemy shall see it, all right? Now, let me show you who you're ultimately an enemy of, all right? This is Matthew 12 and 30, all right? And it's written, he that is not with me is against me, and he that gather not with me scattereth abroad. So when a man or woman don't conform to the word of the Lord, you're his enemy, okay? You're an enemy of the Lord, all right? You have to submit to his word. Wherefore I say unto you, all manner of sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven unto men, but the blasphemy against the Holy Ghost shall not be forgiven unto men. When you don't submit to the word of Yahweh Shem Shai, you're an enemy, and he's going to put you to death. He's going to bring these horrific calamities down on you, all right? Let's show you what you got to do to be in his good grace, all right? This is, go down a few verses. This is Matthew 12 and 50. For whosoever do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother, sister, and mother. All right? Now, this is the will of the Lord for a woman right here. This is the will of our Father in heaven. All right? 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. Oh shit. Let your woman keep silent in the churches, for it is not permitted for them to speak, but they are to be commanded under obedience, and is obedience to the man, as also said the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husband at home. For it's shame for a woman to speak in the church. So a woman got to learn to shut the fuck up. All right. And most of them won't. They're gonna have to get judged. This is Titus. It might be 3. Let me see. All right. This is Titus. All right. 2 and 2. The age, no. Verse 3, Salaki, the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior and becoming holers, not false accusers, not giving them much wine, other philosophies, that where wine goes into philosophy, a teacher of good things. You got to learn what good and evil is. All right? So you got to get around a man that has this knowledge. Because when society teaches you good and evil, this society calls evil good and good evil. That they might teach the young women to be sober. That word sober means live according to the word of the Lord. Don't be drunk off of these other philosophies. And to love their husbands. The word love goes into obedience. And to love their children, to be discreet. These modern women are not discreet, chaste. All right. All of them got high body counts. Keepers at home. And they don't like to be at home. They like to be in the streets and go in the clubs and shit. Good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh not blaspheme. All right. If it's up to them, when you look at the modern day woman, the word of the Lord is blasphemed because they not rocking out to that vibration. All right. And for you women that's coming to the faith and listening to the prophets, this is what you have to do. You have to learn to do these things, or you're gonna get fucked up. You're gonna get fucked up. You're gonna get put to death. I ain't gonna lie. Get it to you raw. All right, 1 Timothy 2 and 9. In like manner, also the women adorn themselves in modest apparel. We just went in what modest apparel is, okay? Modest apparel is your whole body covered up, not showing all your body parts. With shame faces. You should be shamed to come out here dress half naked. Or even when you got your whole body cut up, the shit's so tight, you can see your camel toes and shit. It's just a spirit of whoredom. That's that Grecian fashion. You like the Greeks, you like the Romans. You just want to be a freakazoid. All right, because the women that dress like that, I ain't never met a woman that dressed like that just wasn't an all-out slut. All these women are sluts. When these women wear all this tight shit showing off, I'm talking about even the ones that's married, because you're when you leave the house and dress wearing all that tight shit, you want attention and validation from other men, like Steph Curry wife. All right, Steph Curry wife will fuck another. When Steph Curry is on the road, that bitch is fucking somebody else. I don't care what nobody say. That's because it's the spirit in Babylon. It's not. I don't have to know her personally. She's not under the word of the Lord, so she don't have the fear of the Lord. So if she's coming out on TV and telling everybody she want to look sexy for other men, her looking sexy for a man is not enough. Oh, she get around the right nigga, he gonna pop her. She gonna give it up. All right, because that's the Babylonian way. That's the Greek way. With shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair, gold, or pearls, or costly array. And you can wear those things, but here in this society, that's what women put first. Fendi, Louis, all that bullshit. That's all your mind on. You don't need to wear it. But when your mind is right, that's what a king buys for his wife, gold, pearls, and costly array. But that's a woman that's in her right mind. But which becometh professing godliness with good works. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. This is the spirit a woman has to be in, but they're not going to get in that spirit. That's why these horrific judgments is going to befall them. All right? But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So that does away with gender equality right there. 50-50, that kills it right now. You're not supposed to usurp authority or even talk about 50-50. All right? But you're supposed to be in submission and silence. All right? And the Western philosophy, all right, it doesn't permit that. They say you're dealing with women treacherously. Okay? All right? It teaches women on the contrary. All right? The way these women are dressed right here, all right, this is taboo to the Western mind. They'll look at her and they'll be demonized, all right? They'll be demonized. And other whores are going to try to liberate them, okay? So, what other precept I had? Oh, I had another excerpt, another link. All right. Check this shit out.
We do need men, though. We do.
We don't need them.
We do.
No, because they're lesbians.
Who do you call to get your car fixed? A man or a woman? Your toilet breaks down. Who do you call?
So I fix my own car. I can do. I'm motor mechanics.
Your power supply. Who runs it? Who runs the infrastructure of society? Men or women?
Oh, at the moment, men. Obviously,
yeah.
Because of patriarchy.
Oh no.
But
we do need men, though. We do.
We don't need them.
We do.
No, because they're lesbians.
Who do you call to get your car fixed? A man or a woman? Your toilet breaks down. Who do you call?
So I fix my own car. I can do. I'm motor mechanics.
Your power supply. Who runs it? Who runs the infrastructure of society? Men or women?
Oh, at the moment, men. Obviously,
patriarchy.
At the moment, men. You see, and that's the mindset of a lot of women. All right, but they're going to embrace patriarchy. All right, let me get that definition of patriarchy. All right, and it's written: a system of society or government in which the father, the eldest male, is the head of the family, and descent is traced through the male line. Let's show you that. Let's get a precept to bag that up. All right, that's gonna be the way the earth is ran, through patriarchy of the Israelites. When the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people, and Jacob's is the lot of his inheritance. All right? So the Lord set the bound of men according to the number of the sons of Israel, the men of Israel, because the seed comes from the man. All right? The seed comes from the man. All right? And the Lord has given the Israelite man command of the earth. So what does that tell you about Western philosophy and these clips I'm bringing up? That our women are our enemies. They're at enmity with the ways of the Lord. Okay? And that's why, let me go back. That's why they're going to do this in the coming days. This is prophecy that's going to come to pass here in America. It's already came to pass, but it's going to happen again. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 52. And he says, besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, where thou art trusted throughout thy land. And he shall besiege thee in the gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord have given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body. These women are going to get in such a bad case, and the Lord is going to take away their victuals, their basic necessities. All right? The reason, because women love and thrive off of comfort. He's going to take away all that comfort, and they're not even going to be able to eat, and they're going to get so hungry, they're going to turn into the animals that they are, and they're going to eat the fruit of their own body. A lot of these women don't know what love is, because love is, the scriptures have to show you what love is. Love is keeping the commandments, and these women are enmity with the commandments. So they're going to eat those kids that they say they love, because that's what happens in the world. When all hell break loose, it ain't no love. It's survival of the fittest. When a polar bear get hungry, he'll go eat his own cub. A lion or a lioness get hungry, the motherfuckers will eat their own fucking cubs, man. That lion will come and eat his own fucking son. That's what animals do. And our people are brute beasts, because what makes us civilized? The breath of life, this word. And the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord have given thee. All right? The men and women that are enmity with the Lord are going to eat their children. This is what's going to make women get in their right mind, these type of calamities. In the siege and in the straitness where your enemy shall distress thee, because these UN soldiers coming, these Gurkha troopers coming, MRAPs, tanks coming to a city near you and a hood near you, they're going to besiege you and put curfews on you and tell you got to stay in your house. And once your canned goods gone, all your meat has spoiled and shit, you're going to be in that house starving. And then your little 5 month, 6 month, 2-year-old, 3-year-old daughter and son is going to start looking like a turkey. It's going to start looking like a pork chop to you. And you're going to eat them. And that's because that's what Western philosophy brings. It puts you in enmity with the Lord. And it's going to bring you ultimately death if you don't submit to this word. You few women that listen. All right? So this was an epistle for you. We normally don't do this much in Great Millstone, but it's been a great influx of y'all. Not really a great influx, but there's been a big number of more and more women coming, taking heed. So you need to submit to the Lord's word and put off these Western philosophies that you learned, man. Stop dressing like whores. Stop going from nigga to nigga. Learn to shut the fuck up. Be silent and humble, contrite. And you might get beamed up out of this place. You might be one of them 2%. That's me speaking as a man. Our beloved Elder Apostle Tahar say he don't think none of y'all gonna make it, you know? But you got a few that what we see is trying. I got brothers with wives that are meeting the mark, you know. They submit, they don't talk back, you know. They're trying to please the Lord. So with that, Abba Rajazah, this was edifying to the hearers. I'm going to give infinite honors to my Heavenly Father, my great King, Yahweh Shema Shai, Shema Kakadash, double honors to our teachers, the other apostles of Great Millstone, and their bishops right up under them. Shalom to you, brothers. And salutation to my fellow laborers in Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, Kwame Yasharala, Bible Ball.